here. Alright, my one leg is cutting off this carotid on this side. Nothing you can do about that one. It's there. What finishes the choke is me making his shoulder squeeze into the other carotid. That's why when I get my what Eddie likes to call the perfect triangle, and again it's just a name to differentiate the positions, you know. When I get my leg locked all the way under and I start, look at his shoulder right now, look at that space. That's why I squeeze. You see this space, his shoulder right here? When I start squeezing, that shoulder goes into his neck and it starts clamping the carotids on. Alright? Perfect triangle. If you're flexible enough to get there, it works perfectly fine. The problem is when you get like this and you can't get there. You don't, right here, by trying to squeeze your guard, you don't really have the strength to make that shoulder go in there the right way. Now that's where the teepee comes into play. Alright, there's two ways to go with this situation. The first way is if all you have is the guard locked. That's where the teepee is going to come in. If you're able to get your foot about halfway, the half triangle. Alright? So the first one, I get my triangle position, alright? And I got the guard locked, but I can't advance any further. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch both my legs straight up in the air. It's kind of like a teepee. That's why it's called the teepee. When I do that, look at his shoulder here. It starts to push it in. But right now, my legs is not enough pressure to finish the choke. Because this leg over here is digging into that neck really good. I got to get that shoulder to dig in the other side. So I crunch up and I reach around behind my legs and I grip my hands and I use my arms to help with my legs to squeeze as hard as I can, applying the pressure. Now this one comes into play really big because a very common counter to a triangle that people will do is when you put them in a triangle, they'll take their arm and they'll fold it back down like this. Right? Why? So I can't, pass it across. Right? When I do the triangle, I always want the arm across the face. Okay? So, or he's just got his elbow buried down tight, and no matter what I do, I can't get that arm across. If I can't get that arm across, I can't do my triangle. So what do? I go to the teepee. I got the guard, stretch the legs, round behind him, and I squeeze. Even with his arm down, look at his shoulder right here. When I squeeze, see how it rolls that shoulder into his neck? Clamping off the arteries. Okay? Alright, so let's try that teepee a few times.